today's video is going to be all about how I paint my nails at home using gel polish. So I wanted to do a little bit of a comparison to see how much I was spending versus how much I spend now. So back then when I used to get my nails done every 2 weeks, it would cost me a minimum of $50. So if you do a little maths, that's about $1,300 a year that I used to spend on my nails alone. And when I started to do my nails at home, I did purchase this particular nail kit. It only cost me about $100. And throughout the year, because I did want to purchase more colors, I think overall I spent about $350. So that's a massive amount of savings. More for me to spend on other things. I wanted to share with you guys how I paint my nails and some of my tips and tricks so that you can get more confident in doing your nails at home. And if you've got any questions or have any tips for myself, definitely let me know down below. The nail kit I ended up purchasing is by the brand called Opallac. This was actually recommended to me by one of my best friends. She used to do her nails all the time, and so when I did start to get interested in doing my own nails, I asked which one she used, and this is the one. I'll actually share with you guys which one I purchased in particular, so I'll link that over here. I ended up purchasing their Opallac At-Home Gel Kit. This one came with the lamp, 3 of their gel colors, the base coat, the top coat, the shine and soak solution, 30 of the remover wraps, a nail file, as well as a buffing block. But just having a look at their website, their at-home starter kits actually range from $70 all the way up to $99, just depending on which color you're after. Yeah, that's one that I've got. So today I will be using the nail lamp. I do have the base coat as well as the top coat. And the color that I do reach for more frequently compared to anything else is called High Tea. It suits my skin tone the most and goes with anything that I wear. So this is what I'll be using today. This here is the buffing block and the nail file. This one is the shine and soak solution. So this is what you'll use to remove your gel polish and to shine them at the very end. For myself, I do have a cuticle remover. I just think that this definitely helps push my cuticles so that it softens them, making it a lot easier to remove. And your general nail tools, so your pusher and your nail cutters. I also do use sometimes fake nails. If you're interested in seeing how I use this to extend my nails, let me know, because I can definitely do a video tutorial on that later. Just before we get started, I did want to say that these gel polish generally last my nails about a week and a half to 2 weeks, just depends on what I'm doing. That's it for now, so let's get started. Okay, so I started off by just trimming my nails. For me, I just went with the natural shape of my nails. It's up to you how you want to shape them. Some people prefer them being square, some people prefer round. For myself, because it's been a while since I last done them, it is a lot easier to start off with your natural shape. So that's what I've done here. I am going to go ahead and fast forward here just to make the video quicker. Once I completed that, I just grabbed my nail file and started filing to the shape of what I wanted. It will also help create that smooth edge. And again, I am also going to fast forward this section. I used the buffing block and used the sponge side of it to wipe off any nail dust. If you have a nail brush, you can go ahead and use that as well. Okay, so it's now time to remove those cuticles. So here I've just grabbed the cuticle pusher and dipped it into the cuticle remover liquid. I did leave that on my nails for a few seconds just to soften them before pushing. If you have a nail brush, go ahead and brush it off. Otherwise, you can use the buffing block or got any tissues around. I went ahead and grabbed my cuticle clipper and started clipping my cuticles away. Now I do have to apologize here in advance because it was quite hard filming this. It is a lot easier if you can have your hands closer to yourself, but because I wanted to ensure that this was on camera, it did go out of focus a little bit. This here is my preferred way of viewing my cuticles, so that's a lot easier to cut them. This next step is optional, but for myself, I do like to lightly file the top of each of my nail just so that the base coat has something to grab onto. By doing this, it will help your polish last longer. I went ahead and grabbed the buffing block again using the sponge surface. Here I've got the base coat, so I went ahead and started layering that on. You don't need so much product. With this particular base coat, it will actually spread, so if you can just stay away from a lot of the edges, but get as close as you can. It's now time to cure the base, so I just went ahead and popped that under the nail lamp for about 1.5 minutes. Once the base was cured, I went ahead and grabbed my nail polish color. As you can see, I've got high tea here. Just a little tip, what I normally do as soon as I open it is I will shake it side to side and slide it up on one side of the brush. This will just help make sure that you don't have too much product on your brush. I do always try to make sure my first layer is quite thin, and the reason for it is because as you continue to build each layer, you just want to make sure that it is even, so this will really help that. Another little tip is I actually press my finger onto the table and move my finger from side to side. This will help make sure I get as close as I can to the edges. I just found this useful because I'm not physically twisting the brush itself. That can lead to the paint going onto my finger. Here I do have polish on the skin, so I just wanted to show you what I normally do. So if you have a nail pusher or anything sharp, you can go ahead and use that to go and scrape it off. It's now time to set the first coat, so I again grabbed my nail lamp and placed it under there for another 1.5 minutes. I brushed on a second coat and placed it under the lamp for another 1.5 minutes. It is up to you how many coats you do, just depending on how opaque you want it. For me, 2 coats was perfectly fine, so I went ahead and placed on the top coat. The consistency of the top coat is quite similar to the base, so you don't really need too much to brush on. Just like what I did here, if you did put too much product onto one nail, you can go ahead and brush it again. So this will take off some of the product off that particular nail and onto the next nail. Once I finish coating all of my nails, I do go ahead and brush it all once more before putting it under the lamp for another 1.5 minutes. Once you've set the top coat, it will leave a little bit of a sticky residue, so this shine and soak will shine it and will also remove that stickiness. Here I just used a cotton ball to soak the solution in and wiped my nails a few times. Once you've shined your nails, you can go ahead and do anything you need to throughout the day. As I'm showing you here, your nail color won't budge. If the gel happens to set onto your skin, you can go ahead and clip that off. So just like what I'm doing here is I am using the cuticle clippers and placing that in between my skin and where the gel is and just trimming it off. Another way for you to be able to lift up the gel that's set onto your skin is by using the nail pusher. As you can see here, I went ahead and placed it in between my skin and also where the gel polish is, and it will lift it slightly. I did this quite slowly and carefully. Once it lifted, all I did was grab the nail cuticle cutter and trimmed it off. The very last thing I do is I will go ahead and moisturize my fingers. If you do have a nail oil, you can also go ahead and use that. Normally what I would do is complete each step on both hands at the same time, but for the purpose of this video, I did only do my left hand, so I went ahead and did my right hand here. I am right hand dominant, so painting with my left can pose a bit of a struggle for myself when I first started to do this. What I have found quite useful was as soon as the brush landed onto my nails, I actually used my right hand to pull away. That way I wasn't exactly using my left hand to move the brush. Don't forget to move your hand or your finger from side to side and not the brush itself. Here is the end result. Hopefully you learned something new. If there's anything else you'd like for me to try, please let me know down below. If you did like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much guys, I'll see you next time.